Hey guys, we're going to be talking about some power encounters that we have had over our life, ministry, things like that. And just to give you a little bit of edification, build you up a little bit in your faith, to show that if we can do it, anybody can do it.
Yep.
All right? There's no secret to experiencing the power and presence of God in your day-to-day life.
Yep, definitely.
And I was ordained under Charles and Francis Hunter, world-recognized revivalists. I love them people. They were wonderful people. And I got to spend the last few years of their lives. I was able to train with them and learn from them. They spoke into my life a lot. And Francis used to say, if Charles and Francis can do it, then anybody can do it. And that's an absolute fact.
Yep.
So one of the encounters I wanted to talk about was probably, I'm going to say in my younger life, maybe even up to this point, it was probably one of the most, I guess, instrumental evangelism encounters I've ever had. When we were in New Albany, Uncle Jerry's church was at right in the middle of the projects.
Yeah.
Down in New Albany, Indiana. It's in the projects, and it was a rough area, no doubt. And as I was coming up in ministry, Grandpa and Jerry were evangelists. I mean, they ooze it.
Yeah.
And they ooze it. And I was just brought up in that vein. And so I remember it was the middle of summer, everybody's out of school, and I was out and it was getting late in the day, we were getting ready to leave. I think we were preparing for Soup Kitchen on a Monday night.
Okay.
And it was a couple hours before, and we were there just kind of getting everything prepped and ready for the evening meal. We knew there's usually 50, 60 or more people that would come and eat dinner, and we'd have a message and do ministry. Well, that day in particular, I just felt that the Lord told me to go out and look for some people. So I just went out with the sole objective of just preaching the gospel. Well, the only people I could find was on the basketball court. And there was a lot of people out on the basketball court, and they were all ages, high school and up, probably about my age. I was in my 20s at that point, well, maybe mid-20s, I guess, by that point. They were within that realm, I had known many of these people. I'd seen them back and forth. One of them had pulled a gun on me before.
Oh.
It's the one I talked about.
Yeah.
That's another power encounter. That was when I was less sanctified and knew some ninja moves to pull it out. And anyway, that's what got me that gun that day. So I seen that guy, so I knew the crew that was out there.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just felt like the Lord told me to go up and walk in the middle of the basketball court, and they're after it, They're shirts and skins, so half of them were shirtless. They're aggressive at street basketball, right?
Yeah.
And you got me looking like a dummy, walking around like, all right, Lord, are you sure? Just go out in the middle and just start.
You're probably kind of nervous, right?
I was real nervous,
like,
I'll be honest.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
This could be sketchy.
Yeah, it could have been real sketchy because, like I said, I knew some of the folks. And, the Lord just said, just go out and stand in the middle of the court and tell them the word. Tell them how it is. So I walked out in the middle of the basketball court and I said, hey guys, I just got a question. And they're like, what do you want? And they're getting immediately hostile. Yeah. I said, every one of you are going to hell. I said, do you want to know how to not go to hell? And then they all just looked at me and, they gathered up as you would expect, And then one of them said, why are we going to hell? So then I told them. I told them that they knew about God, but they didn't obey Him. And I don't know all of what I told them because I wasn't the one saying anything. It was just kind of flowing out.
Yeah.
What I do remember is I told them, you all know about Jesus, but you don't do what He says. And toward the end, there was a lot of teary eyes. And I just says, well, guys, I said, the first step of obedience is getting baptized. You all want to go get baptized?
Yeah.
And there was 22 kids, 22 guys,
yeah.
all boys on that basketball court. And they all said, yeah, we all want to get baptized. So at that time, we didn't prepare we had to prepare the baptismal. It was a big hot tub, just a shell of a hot tub. We'd drag it out of the back, and we'd have to bucket fill it, to fill it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, all right, come on with me. So all these kids started going down to the church with me, and they just followed behind me like a big trail of, trail of ants, we're all following. And I opened the door, and Jerry's sitting there, and I was like, we got to get the baptismal ready right now. And he's like, why? I said, because there's 20 people coming in to get baptized right now. He was like, are you kidding me? Nope. And we filled it up real quick, and we had a good prayer meeting and baptized 20 kids in the Lord. And when they came to church, I mean, they were involved for, I became the youth pastor there for about a year or two.
Yeah.
And they were involved in the church and all that. So it was a really cool encounter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's sketchy, who cares? Why are we there? We're there to serve the Lord and to advance His purpose.
Yeah.
Regardless.
God will protect you when you're carrying out His will. So.
Yeah. And you know what? Even if something sketchy did happen, it doesn't matter. I know where I'm going, so it's not about that. If it would have been my time of persecution to suffer that ultimate fate, praise God. I'm preaching as I do it. Come on with that. I look forward to that day because that's coming too. So anyway, that's this week's Power Encounter. Thanks for visiting.